seed coming out of Group A rather than that number 2 seed. Because, again, worst case, you lose here, at least you're still alive in the losers bracket finals. But, again, you win here, you put yourself in probably what would likely be a better matchup, at least in the first round of the Final Four. So, with that said, can't wait to get things started. In fact, we have now gotten things started and are already developing with the draft here. Of course, joined by Minnie once again. Minnie, this is, we had some entertaining matches here previously, of course, leading up to this one, but this is the match I think we're all excited for today.
Yeah, definitely, man. This is the big dog match. I mean, before the other teams, there were some interesting matches, but this has more than just interesting matches. This has, the player names, the real sort of storylines of what we all want to see, for example. So, I don't think this game will disappoint either. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, definitely. In fact, we're already in the next tier of bands, so let's start taking a look as we see what's going on here. Warbeast, Valkyrie, Tremble, and Swiftblade are the bands. You see the Valkyrie respect coming out from Mint over here. Again, Tree especially known for playing that boxy. Even Balthazar from time to time, but again, making use of that Valkyrie Prism, it can be annoying to play against. They just do not want to deal with it here, so using a ban on him. Dr. Repulsor going to be the first pick in a Kraken. Kinesis coming out in a Puppet Master, and there's Flux into Ophelia. So definitely an interesting draft so far to talk about here, Minnie.
Yes, I mean, the Doctor first pick, there's no real surprises there, to be honest. It's just a hero that has been doing a lot of work recently on the seed, and that's why Mint have counterpicked it with the Puppet Master, which is going to do a lot of work before the Null Stone's picked up here from Tree. I mean, Dr. Pulse is one of those heroes that I don't think Tree have been running him too much, honestly, but I think after doing so much work, I think Tree are going to try and almost work it into their draft. I mean, the hero can still work very well, can get involved in the jungle earlier on as well, like level 5, for example, which is sort of a strategy they do like to do. And then you got two kind of signature heroes on players as well, like Flux on Cracky's hands and Kinesis on Boxy's hands as well. So, yeah, just more of a comfortable draft here from Tree. Nothing too outlandish as of yet.
Yeah, definitely not. But yeah, about the Doctor, I mean, again, he is just one of those staple carry heroes. But I think you're all right. Tree maybe not necessarily running it the most, but I'm gonna give it their shot here, and it's safe to say probably do pretty well with it. At least that's the idea. And also go with that Flux. But we do see the bands now assisting. Keeper of the Forest into Engineer. Madman into Riftwalker. Yeah, especially with a Flux, you do not want to give them that. Going to be interesting to see how they finish off now. One more band on either side, of course. To be had here. You can tell Tree is focusing a little bit more on suicide potential heroes, perhaps, with their bands Keeper and a Madman.
Yeah, because Kraken is normally always in the hands of Labyrinth. Like, he plays the hero very, very well. We're yet to see a Zibe hero as of yet, and then obviously it's just the suicide and the support here for Mint. And for Tree, they're two supports. Yeah, that's why we'll ban out the Engineer, the Riftwalker, for example, not really targeting the junglers, because Tree just simply don't run junglers, just how it is. I spoke to Fusen about this, actually. He said it's more the playstyle of Root of Z. Root of Z just doesn't like junglers, and so therefore, the captain and the draft has to really cater for Root of Z's playstyle. I mean, Root of Z still plays incredibly well, regardless if he plays a jungle or not, for example. So
yeah.
So pick up Magma, so that'll be their second support, because I think Flux will be played by Krake. So no surprises there. Magma's still on the board. They pick up their support here as well.
There's Torture.
I think most of Glacius here. I think for Tree, Fusen Glacius.
Yeah.
Because they need a first support that will be able to box out the suicide. I think they're either thinking either Glacius or something like Rhapsody, for example. But I think Glacius might be probably the preferred option here. What Doctor and what Kinesis as well.
Only got a couple more seconds left. So there we go.
Yep. It's the Glacius, and then this will be the offlane here for Zibe. So Warbeast is banned out. I think that Zibe's been playing fantastically well, actually, so no wonder it's been banned here. It depends on what the sort of strategy is for Mint. They've got a lot of sort of good team fight already with the Ophelia, Torture, and Kraken. It's whether they want a second core to sort of try and take this late, or do they want to keep on pushing it and keep on going for the raw team fight. I think they need to fall back onto a second core, honestly, because Dr. Repulsor and Flux will be able to outcarry just the Puppet Master in this game. And I don't think they're going to be able to do enough work in terms of gaining an advantage before like the 25-minute mark. So I think they're going to have to fall back on a second core here for Zibe. Yeah. Wretched Hag's still on the board. I mean, I've talked about it a lot recently. But one of those heroes that can fulfill it. Madman is banned out as well. Unless they're going to just go for maybe like a Bubbles, for example, and try and force the team fights, which I guess is an okay strategy. I just don't think they're going to be able to force the advantage, honestly, before Tree can really start scaling better into the late game with Doctrine and Flux. So.
Yeah.
I have to wait and see.
Well, they had plenty of time to think. I was going to say that, you know, they had extra 80 seconds going into this final pick, so pretty confident with their draft up to this point. Want to make sure that they're comfortable continuing, and they go with Lodestone with their final pick. So
some more team fight oriented, which is fine as well. They have to find the advantage though earlier on in terms of pushing and taking these team fights, and as long as they do well in the lanes, which it's looking like it's going to set out to be, they should be fine. The only issue is where, you know, if Tree do good in the early laning phases, if they've got some good rotations from Root and Fusen, or they get the advantage, and then when it gets to the 15-minute mark, Mint aren't able to take towers, and they're, you know, falling back all on the Puppet Master when they're going against Doctor and Flux. It's going to be a very difficult task here for Probosc. Obviously, he'll be able to handle it, but it's just with this Lotus pick, they'll have to take or they'll have to get something out of it for it to be worthwhile.
Yeah. Absolutely, and yeah, as you mentioned, Probosc going to be the carry player once again, of course, for this team. It's pretty much the role he's been filling with formerly known as Dawn, now known as Fresh, of course. In this case, playing that Puppet Master. Again, Zibe joining their ranks as well more recently. Of course, again, was originally part of BMG. Then with their issues, roster issues and whatnot, he eventually found a new home here. So definitely seems like things have come together, though. And again, especially Probosc and around his team really making a point that they are ready to qualify. And again, Tree has been a little bit on that stump, it feels like, as far as not the most impressive results, especially compared to what they were earlier on in the season, but still a very, very formidable team, and would not be surprised, to say the least, to see them come out on top of this series. But again, just expecting a great series is what we got for you here today, so we'll see if that comes through or not. But going to have to sit a little bit longer, unfortunately. Going to wait to the pause here. As far as now, back to the losers bracket, I think it did wrap up. And to clarify, I believe Solaire Club did actually take the series, 2-1. So they of course were playing Night Raid. So that means Night Raid, their journey is done here for what is Haunter Season 3, and they definitely had some impressive runs throughout. But their journey's done. That means Solaire Club, they're going to move on to face Coolio, though. What would be the first match tomorrow, actually. So definitely going to look forward to casting that one there. All right, it looks like we're going to go, though. A lot of the restroom break coming out, but there are the good luck, have fun.
Oh, is this level 1 Roshan?
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, this is it, man. They're doing it right now. Oh,
this
my
is
goodness.
something. Fresh is like, we want to go to Thailand, and we're going to do it with a fun strategy.
And honestly, I think this is probably one of the best games to do it as well. The reason being is because it's playoffs. You've got almost nothing to lose, kind of thing, and it's really unexpected as well. Magnus is running over. Is he going to spot it is the question, and will Tree even be able to rotate over? He's coming in.
Even if he does spot this, I don't know if they're going to get here in time.
He's going to spot it, though. He's going to spot it. He must spot it. Yeah, he spotted. He spotted. He spotted.
Oh, he knows. They all know. Oh, so they're going to stop.
Oh,
see, they think that they're even there. They have no information on that.
I don't think they'll be able to see it, though. I don't think they'll be able to see it. Like, I don't think they'll be able to kill it, sorry, before Tree rotate up. They're going to try and pincer it in there, actually. Oh, my God.
This is interesting.
Flux?
Now, they need to be careful themselves. Flux is the one that's actually good because you see they've already kind of split off from one another. They just want to get up to their lane where they need to be. So now, how much of an impact? Because each of them spent 135 gold right there to get a TP. And that's combined. Well, it's a lot of gold, over 600 gold easily. So that's quite a significant amount of gold there that they spent trying for that. It didn't work out in the end. Now, sure, it could have been much worse. To be fair, they could have got wiped, and then the game could be over almost in a sense. But I mean, how hurtful is he? You think?
I think it's quite impactful because it's not only did they waste the gold, it's because look at the starting items. Ophelia has nothing. Kraken has 2 health potions without a hatchet and just a shield buckler. So the starting items here are a little bit screwed. Not only that, they weren't able to actually defend their own jungle. Look at this help on jungle. Ophelia is screwed. She does not have that much gold to really rotate. She's bought 1 Rev Ward, but she upgraded the courier, I believe. She only has 1 Rev Ward kind of thing. So already the impact of sort of going to level 1 Congo is definitely going to show, just in the early laning phases. So
I don't know. I'd love the idea, but again, maybe this is definitely hindsight too. But I'm looking at their lineup, and it's like this does not scream Congo to me at the same time.
Yeah, but that's the best thing about it, though. You don't expect it. You don't expect it. If you have a Pharaoh or even like some random like a Wild Cell, for example, then you'd scout it, but. With this lineup, you don't expect it. So.
Yeah. It's just like Ophelia's like literally one of the worst heroes for a Conqueror level 1. They didn't really have a true tank necessarily, like I said, like a Pharaoh perhaps, or a minion based hero even. So yeah, pretty hurtful. As top lane, look at Kinesis returning some good damage to Torture, but Torture also boxing him out with that impalement. But Boxy, as usual, not going to let him have freely put out damage onto him.
That was actually very advantageous for Boxy right there, because he has the health potion there. Obviously, I think Ophelia gave him one, but Torture at the moment didn't actually have a health potion there, so that traded a lot better for Boxy. But he's got lane control now as well, so
yeah. Bottom lane, Lodestone. No, he's going to be fine. Glacius, he's off to the side right there. He's thinking about making something happen, but Zibe, he's more than fine. He's got those plates as well, just in case they look to go in it. But yeah, all right, so as fun as it was, we are now in the laning phase here as far as game number 1 kicking off now, and got the matchups now to really look at a little more. You mentioned Kraken versus Flux. Again, Kraken already working at a handicap as really everyone on the Hellborn team to an extent.
I think the biggest thing is that he didn't start with a hatchet, which was the biggest thing. So him getting creep kills without the splash is quite a big deal, to be honest. So.
Yeah. You see the creep farm so far. Kraken looking at 6-0. Flux is 10-6. So safe to say Kraken having a much better time at this point in the game. Boxy at the top lane. Boxy managed to get 7 creep kills so far against Puppet Masters 11-2. So again, Boxy on this Kinesis. They picked it up with a 2nd pick actually, but they like running this hero, and as I say that though, he might be in some trouble. Nice job right there.
Oh man.
Stasis
I think
smash.
they expected the Torturer. That's why Probus in W, like, they expected the Torturer time to come out, but Kinesis did it himself, so nice play.
Ooh, Kraken charges away in the meantime in the middle lane, making sure Flux is not able to get some good follow-up damage onto him. So yeah, Boxy. Boxy is out of mana now, to be fair, so not going to be able to use that his abilities to his advantage at this point. How's Ophelia recovered? Well, she was able to get this unblocked, of course, with the Rev Ward, and that's definitely been pretty significant. Again, they're going in. Ophelia, though, she was a little bit delayed, honestly. She went kind of a funky path initially.
Oh, no!
Stasis smash, and he's going to get away. He's poured back Puppet Master. Yeah, that was a misclick.
Oh, that was a for sure kill there on the Kinesis. Yeah, for sure kill on Kinesis there, but oh my god.
That's probably the worst ability you could misclick for that reason right there.
God. Like, I think even if she didn't use it, I think he would have got the kill anyway, because Puppet Master would have got, like, if Ophelia didn't use the spell, I think Puppet Master would have got the kill, like, with a couple more attacks. But because he sent him home, not only did he not get the burst, but he actually saved Kinesis' life right there. Oh man, that's unfortunate.
Oh, that's gotta hurt. But hey, he TP'd back in. It's like, okay, back to farm. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. But especially since they did a level 1 Conqueror, he already spent TP.
Exactly. And
there,
look at this Kinesis as well. Like, this Kinesis is level 4, 150 GPM. Like, he should not even be getting level 2, honestly. But he has, and Ophelia has been, trying to set up a lot of kills as well. So her farm has been reduced quite a bit, and because he's level 4, this is the play that they're able to make. Because he's level 4 and has a big impact in the lane, their second supports can rotate up here as well because Boxy is so farmed. And now I think Puppet Master is going to die as well, actually, because of this.
Yeah, Magnus and Torture with that failed rot. They're looking to get the opening. You see, they want to. Kinesis, it's just a matter of. He's the one that's going to lead the way, I would assume, as far as the stun. Yep, there we go. Stasis smash on a Puppet Master. There's a follow-up stun from Magnus. Here comes Glacius with the freeze. No, the Tundra Blast, but that's enough right there. Puppet Master goes down. He wants to freeze Torturer, and there we go. He will be successful with that. Torturer ends up going down as well. A double tap for the team of Tree right here. Very good execution on their part.
And that's all because Kinesis was able to get someone. If Kinesis is level 1 or level 2 there, that play does not happen. But because he's able to get so much in the lane, like, that was I think that's 2 times they could have killed Kinesis there, but they failed. And because they failed on that initiation, or failed on the kill potential, then plays like that are able to happen. So, yeah, really, well, obviously really nice play from Tree as well, though. Like, they making that play happen. But, you know, misplays are very costly.
This is quickly turning into one of these games where clearly Fresh is a lot better than the stat line says right now, and you know, Tree now taken away from them, but Again, a level 1 Conqueror, there's a reason why we don't see it every game or whatnot. I mean, especially with the way that they did it with the behind the TPs, it will set you behind if you are not successful with it. And just like it'll put you pretty far ahead if you are successful with it. So again, it's definitely a big risk. But it is a high reward if you do get it. But clearly that did not. Now, they were kind of the median once again. So we have seen before where teams get cleaned up, and then it's just like, well, that's awkward. But at least they didn't get cleaned up or anything like that. But yeah, they are definitely off to the slower start here.
Yeah, with the item choices, like, you have a lot weaker laning stage, as you can see there. Torture isn't able to get enough regions, really boxed out the Kinesis and a few things here and there, and it does have an impact, honestly. And not only that, I think another thing, it's the mentality factor as well. It's like, oh crap, we just got spotted, GG kind of thing. I mean, that kind of mentality can definitely creep in. So.
Yeah.
It looks like Magnus and Glacius are sort of sitting up here now as well. And with this happening, they're just going to secure the top lane. Box is going to get complete free farm, and Puppet Master is going to get really shut down in his farm as well. And what can Mint do? They've got an Ophelia in this case, so they cannot actually abuse the fact that they can sort of set up kills, for example, because she's just not as impactful as like a level 4 Glacius or level 5 Magnus at this time. So.
Indeed. So we got pause coming out here from Tree, it looks like. Just a quick perhaps strap pause or something else, but they are setting up once again at the top lane. You got Glacius and Magnus up here, the roaming dual supports, as they're so popular in doing. Torture and Puppet Master both very vulnerable to this if they're not careful enough as far as pushing out. But Baltazar, again, going back to the bottom lane, you see what he's been able to do as well. Yeah, farming very well as you would expect, 330 gold per minute against that Lodestone, who is not able to do too much. Now, he is level 6, so yeah, this could be something of perhaps setting a Lodestone top and trying to get a counter kill here. Almost could be walking into a trap, though, at the same time, as far as they're concerned. So, but making use of Lodestone being level 6 right now, I think, is a pretty important point right here.
Yeah, but then who can really rotate over to set up a kill on the Doctor? Like, if he's going to rotate anyway, it has to be a Lodestone has to rotate top, honestly, which he could do because he's getting dominated here by the Doctor Force, which is to be expected, to be fair. But yeah, so not looking good. I think they need to secure this top lane though, and I think that comes from Lodestone literally just sitting behind Probusk and Serenia.
Yeah,
because they have to realise that the supports are up here though, because they're not bottom, they're not mid.
Yes. Got to be somewhere.
Top. And I mean, Box is playing incredibly aggressive as well, so they have to just expect it.
Yeah, he's acting like, I mean, it is boxy, but yeah, you probably have a good expectation that something's going on. And now they do have a hatchet on Magnus. He's cutting through the trees right here, and there's the pull with the discharge. I don't know if that was honestly planned or not, because they were not ready. You figure they would have followed. Maybe they were looking for the better angle with the discharge, but that wasn't the case. Now, here in the middle lane, though, Lodestone, but they saw him coming over with the discharge. So, yeah, now Lodestone's going to be spotted, and that's going to thwart that effort right there. So maybe that was also a reason for the discharge, not necessarily for the top lane, but just simply scouting with it is definitely a tool that it brings to the table. You look at Puppet Master and Torture, though. They're just hugging this tower. But even with them hugging it as much as they are, it still might not matter. I mean, they could definitely dive this if they wanted to, and I think they're going to right here. Magnus stuns in. Torture going to fall victim right off the bat, most likely. There he goes. You see the hold on of Magnus going for the counter kill. Kraken. No, he gets frozen right away, though. Magnus, still not enough, however. He ends up getting dropped by Puppet Master. So, not the exchange they're necessarily looking for, honestly.
I think the biggest thing there is that Probus doesn't die as well. If they kill Probus, that definitely would have been worth it. But I think Probus just had slightly better positioning there, sort of sit behind. But
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, this is literally just turned into a trial right now, and I think this is still fine for Tree because they're doing well. They've got pretty much all 3 lanes free farming practically. Box is free farming, mid's free farming, bot is free farming. Whereas for mid is not doing very well, and neither is top, honestly. So it's not looking good, and obviously they can't farm the bottom lane either because Doctor's just sort of got that lane on wrap right now. So they need to really just shut down this top lane though, because Box is getting far too much. Like Lodestone tried to set up a gank mid, which was I think the right play to make, but he should be rotating top as well, because at the moment he's just trying to just soak experience bot, which is just not the play to make. He needs to have an impact right now.
There we go. Discharge use, hasten flux up top here, and Ophelia hits some trouble. She gets pulled in there. Catman Champions, though, doing plenty of return damage. In fact, they get the kill first on Infusion, and now Flux, he's been held in place, but again, the haste turn really going to help him get out of here. Shatterstorm connects on Kinesis, and there's the follow-up. The Voodoo Puppet also used. They wanted that kill on Boxy, And they get the kill on Boxy right there. Kraken
Oh.
coming in. He hasn't released the Kraken. Yes, he does. And the perfect placement right there.
Oh,
Flux goes
Labyrinth.
down. And Mint, all of a sudden, they got to be feeling somewhat pretty good, especially with the way this game started.
Yeah, definitely. Really nice rotation from Zibe as well. Secures the kill on Boxing. Same goes for Labyrinth as well. They needed to get these kills on the board because they need to just stop the rotations from Tree. They needed to get back their sort of control in this game, and after that kill, they definitely did. Battlestar's, doing good free farm bottom, but that's not their biggest concern right now. The biggest concern was the top lane, and after those kills, they have definitely secured it. So that's really good for Mint.
Yeah. Puppet Master taking some advantage in the jungle, of course. Only Steam Boot so far, but going to work towards that farming item. Possibly the Whispering Hill, possibly the Assassin Shroud. It seems like it's give and take on Puppet Masters. But bottom tower in the meantime in the middle, or in the bottom lane, goes down as Dr. Repulsor pushes it in with really no restraint put up right there. So he's nearly 400 gold per minute right now. And yeah, we cannot forget about Baltazar, and neither can Mint, because he will quickly get out of control and start picking you off left and right if you're not careful. So. Does he have an Invis rune? Yes, he does. He also has a Sustainer already picked up. Interesting. So going to be going the Nullstone here.
Yeah, he needs to. All mid lane, Kraken.
Look at the patience. He's just setting up, getting the angle, making sure that he's in good position, and gets the charge, and the charge happened, and unfortunately didn't really go much distance right there.
Yeah, it's because actually Doctor pulled him just when he charged, and that sort of is a weird mechanic, but it actually gets stopped by the opposite charges, so really nice heads-up play there from Baltazar.
Yeah.
And going back to that, actually, the Dr. Repulsor, Sustainer, he needs to go as well, because he's going against a Puppet Master. He needs to get that Nullstone first. And sometimes we see Icon first, sometimes we even see Hellflower, for example, but he needs Nullstone, otherwise he's going to get completely locked down here from the Puppet Master. So, really nice itemization here from Baltazar. Like, if he doesn't, he can just get locked down in the team fights. So, very good pickup.
Top lane, we got Kinesis. He might be in a little bit of danger. You got Zibby up here on Lowstone, as well as Serenia and Torturer. Galatia's going to join the party as well, but right now it's still numbers in favor of the Hellborn team. Puppet Master charging in. And good job by Tree reacting to that as quickly as they did, because that was definitely a kill in the works right there. So Ophelia will also go back off to the side and with her army and continue to farm for the time being. She's only 175 gold per minute right now, 180. She does have a Ring of Sorcery, but still some work to go for Iceland Gogo here on that Ophelia. It is level 6, though. Has the Ophelia's touch, of course, if that comes into play. I feel like they've pretty much given up this bottom lane. I mean, Dr. Repulsor is still just freely farming it. Is that the best choice, you think?
Well, first of all, there's two reasons why Zibe's done this. First one is that he can't really contest 1v1 against Dr. Repulsor, and second of all, their top lane need to be secured, and that's because, and that's why Zibe rotated up there, to be fair. But yeah, if he stayed down there, he couldn't do too much. He would get dominated from Baltazar anyway. He was in danger of a support rotation. It was the right play from Zibe to make, actually. It's just looked very, very bad because he just forfeited the lane completely, but it was the play he had to make.
Yeah. You see right here, yeah, he does come down here as he's being pushed to the secondary tower. And of course, you don't want to let him freely push that necessarily, so he's going to pick up a little bit of farm in the meantime.
He needs a TP though, because I'm pretty sure they're going to dive this Puppet Master very, very shortly, and they need to make sure that all Mint rotate over. Everyone's got a TP except for Lodestone.
Yeah.
If you discount Ophelia, of course, but.
Steam staff picked up by Puppet Master, so there's your answer of what he's going to be looking to go for here. He went a little bit of extra build-up. He went the Mystic Vestments, even the Grave Locket in full, perhaps because of the start. But now he's working towards the Assassin Shroud here. Going to make sure to have the powerful ganking tool that is necessary.
Yeah, I think they need to get aggressive because Tree otherwise will start dictating the game too much. They've already forfeited the bottom lane, and that's why the Golden Experience is so in favour of Tree right now. So they need to get or make it up through just raw kills, and that's what Puppet Master's going to have to secure with.
Is that a discharge right there? It was, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's just sort of zone, just sort of vision.
Yeah.
Wise.
That is interesting. It's not something we see often, honestly, with Fluxes, but he's doing that now a couple of times. We can, from what we can tell.
Well, Puppet Master was off the lane. Everyone was off the lane right there, so and Baltazar was quite aggressively pushed up. So just nice play.
Yeah, I guess especially this early on too with their makeup, they're not necessarily looking to really going to have that huge team fight where the discharge is going to be very impactful for that. So
if you think about Tree, they never run Flux as sort of the AoE synergistic kind of lineup with that's the engineer. They don't run it. They run it more as a sort of second carry, which that's what he's building towards as well with the Insanitarius. So makes sense.
Haystrun. Oh, what a freeze by Glacius. Steals it right in front of Kraken and then laughs as he's running away, I'm sure. So Labyrinth has got to be a little bit displeasing to see, but what's done is done. Maybe get his revenge later on, I'm sure. But the good Haystrun steal by Glacius. And he's coming up top now to help protect it as you see a little bit of a push. Ophelia, she is level 7 now, so she's able to control those 3 minions, of course, with her command ability. And has a double Minotaur Skeleton King army as a result of that. But her farm still continues to pretty much struggle. I mean, overall, really, Mint's not really doing that great a farm. Even Puppet Master and Kraken barely struggling to stay at the 300 gold per minute mark here. So it's still safe to say, I mean, that early game start is still having an effect.
Oh yeah, definitely, and it will honestly, and it will just snowball from here as well because they're 5,000 gold a lead ahead. At 15 minutes, it's only going to start snowballing them into more leads as well. But 2 big item pickups now, and Sanitaries and Flux, and also on Doctor Pulsar. Tree, they've got the 5,000 gold lead advantage as well, and I think they should try and look for ways to get ahead in terms of pickoffs. They easily have enough burst damage to pick someone off before any rotations come up from Mint as well. Labyrinth doesn't have his portal key yet. Ophelia is level 6, but I still think they have the burst to get through that as well. So, but I mean, at the same time, they don't have to force it because Lodestone is so far behind. The only way he can really get back in is through a lot of good team fights, I guess. So it's just going to really depend on what they're looking to do. And it looks like they're just going to continue playing a farm game, which it's probably the right decision to make as well, because like I said, with Mint going this Lodestone pick, they don't have like the second quarter to rely back on. They are solely relying on Puppet Master, and if they're going to do that, then they have to take the advantage. But when they're 5,000 gold behind, they are not in a position to make plays.
Yeah,
it's just the right strategy here from Tree.
So triple stack Ancients done pretty quickly right there as a team by Tree, speaking of them. And they kind of split the farm a little bit. I was paying attention to that. Flux and Magnus pick up almost 50-50 right there. You see Magnus, he's getting close to that portal key. 1,400 gold saved up about. He comes into the jungle, but, well, Dr. Pulsar is pretty much clearing out the rest of the jungle, so he's not going to find much farm right there. However, he's looking to help set up a kill in the bottom lane on the Lodestone. Doctor's thinking about it. Going to wait a little bit longer, perhaps. There he goes. Jumps in. Can Magnus get there in time? No, he cannot. The rocket drill used. Doctor's still chasing, but he doesn't want to go further because, yeah, he's out of mana. And a port was coming in. Yeah, Magnus, I mean, that was a good attempt, but Zibby just a little too quick with that rocket drill. Meanwhile, in the middle lane, they know that the numbers are lacking right now. Flux going to be pushed in onto the cliff right there. Has the supporting cast. And Flux is bursted down after the fact. Well played, and here they're going to push middle here a little bit. We'll see if they can be successful with this. Now, don't overcommit because this is a strong team fight team.
Doctor used like all of his mana. It looks like they're going to try and set up though. Kraken, Flux is up, and I don't think they're there. Yeah, they can't defend. They weren't. Yeah. Doctor was like he spent all his mana bottom to try and defend it, so I don't think he was in a position to do so. So it's just yeah, really nice play there from Mint. Just trying to take the advantages even though they're behind. Just a good pickup.
To the Village route once again. Tree, if any team is used to the side, I mean, they were the first ones to start using it. They used it early and constantly throughout the game. So another use of it right there. But in the end, Mint was able to react in time before continuing that push and getting cut out perhaps. Ophelia's farm has gone up a little bit now as a result of that push right there. Nearly 250 gold per minute. In fact, finishes their Astrolabe, and so that was a pretty good core early on with the Ring of Sorcery and the Astrolabe. Assassin's Shroud still not finished on Puppet Master. He just got the Broadsword. Needs that gold for the pattern, though. Again, he wants some early build-up, though, some extra build-up that we maybe usually don't see, so perhaps to land a little bit too.
It makes sense, though. There was a lot of aggression early on from Tree, so the Grave Locket and the investments definitely makes a lot of sense here, actually.
Yeah.
Same goes for Kraken as well. Normally won't, but there's a lot of magic damage here from Tree. So.
Denied from Zibby right there in the middle lane. And that tower, no one from Tree was even nearby. Did I just see a Portal Key on Magnus? I did, so that's also going to be picked up by him. A Tablet of Command, item of choice for Boxy here. And Tablet's powerful, like several heroes, and Kraken's one of them.
Definitely. And he needs to have a mobility item himself as well, to be honest.
You know, we have. So I was just getting finished talking about Veiled Rot used by Tree and how they use it actively, and their first team to start using it. But we also have criticized them at times where they seem like they use it too much. It Dr. Repulsor up here again. Another. This is the carry Dr. Repulsor by using another Veiled Rot, trying to set something up here. He's clearly not going to really work out in the end. As we see, and but it goes back to the biggest thing about Veiled Rot, why it's good, is because you get around wards. There isn't wards up here. Here comes the jump, though. Numbers, big time affair of the Hellborn team. So Doctor needs to be careful with that. Kraken, though, he's trying to finish off Kinesis. He gets pulled away, however, or tabbed away, I should say. There's the opponent from Flux. Magnus with the follow-up stun. He has an eruption. He's not going to use it just yet. Puppet Master holding his ground. The Voodoo Puppet gets the kill on Kraken, but he goes down. There's the eruption coming out finally. And now Ophelia ends up falling into that. They get 2 kills on Doctor and Kinesis, but 4 kills in favor of Tree. Lodestone, the sole survivor on their side. So, I mean, Tree did lose pretty significant heroes there, to be fair, including that Doctor, but they do come out on top in numbers. Yeah,
if Puppet survives there, that might be slightly in favour of Mint, but 2 for 4 plus most likely a T1 tower top as well. Definitely in favour of them, and it's that 5,000 gold lead really paying off. Though the Insanitarius and the Nullstone from Doctor is just doing a lot of work, and very, very hard to bring those heroes down. So, and not only that, the portal key from Magnus, very, very useful. But yeah, I mean, there's not much else that Mint can really do, though. They don't have a second core to really fall back on. They have to sort of take the team fights if they're presented to them, and when Tree are 5,000 gold ahead, Tree just slightly come out ahead at times.
See top lane back up here. Puppet Master has that Assassin Shroud and going to start pushing it out now after that fight loss right there. So there's a portal key on Zibby. Speaking of him staying alive that fight, that's extra good because, again, it did allow him to get that portal key a little quicker now, where he still wouldn't have had it at this point. They have to even farm a little more, and actually they could make use of it here at the bottom lane. If they can catch Dr. Repulsor, Lodestone, he does have that face smash, so will be affected by the Nullstone in that sense, but Doctor's not going to hang around long enough to see what would happen. Of course, ideally you'd get the Torrent or something like that to remove it first, but we do have a couple abilities across the board here on the Hellborn side that will be able to remove the Nullstone. In fact, everyone has an ability, if I'm not mistaken, yeah. Everybody has an ability to remove it, so it kind of goes back to, talking about earlier with the Nullstone pickup, but
I still think it's still good, though, because it allows him not to get almost jumped on from either one, because he's going to have the reaction. It's sort of similar to why you get it on Silhouette as well, because even though there might be a lot of people that can stop it, as long as you have quick reactions, that 0.5 second sort of delay by them having to use at least one spell to take it off, you're going to be able to sort of react to the second spell with your ludicrous speed. So yeah, it makes a lot of sense. Here for Mint, though, is that the team fight from Tree is just too much. They got so much damage on the side of Tree. The Kinesis, Magnus, Doctor, and Glace, even the Flux doing a lot of damage. It's just too much, and there's so much magical damage as well. So I think the next order of business is definitely Strong and Heads here from Mint. Maybe a Strong and Head on Puppet Master, maybe a Strong and Head on Kraken. The only issue is that if they do that, they don't have the greatest damage themselves, which is the one issue. But I think otherwise they're going to just get mauled over. And so yeah, there's a Mighty Blade there for Provost, and there's Mighty Blade from Labyrinth. So makes a lot of sense. They're just too squishy at the moment, and Tree just have too much burst damage. So.
Yeah, it does seem like Balthazar, again, going back to him on Dr. Pulse, he's just had a lot of free time to farm throughout this game. In fact, yeah, still the Ancients right here with the Illusions. Hellflower getting very, very quickly created right here by him. Just needs the one more Arcana, of course, which is going to be coming up in the next minute or so at this point. So that on top of that Nullstone, he's going to have a very efficient amount of mana regeneration, as well as some nice little extra lockdown, and that means these Hellborn players, if they're going to be individual and not sticking together, they're going to be very in trouble against what would be the Dr. Repulsor and pretty much, the assisting cast, of course. You got the Portakian Magnus, you got Kinesis, going to be pretty mobile with that tablet especially, so you got to watch out for that. Flux, in the meantime, he's trying to finish off his Shrunken, which it looks like he's going to have here very, very shortly, as is there, no, that's Lowstone, just taking a little bit of damage at the bottom of it, but he's finishing off some Ancients, though, as Flux, and going to secure that again, going the Insanitarius. Some of you may be thinking like, oh, that on Flux, that's interesting, but again, Krake's been doing this for a while now, so
he's going to go Shrunken Head as well. So just really trying to bulk up as much as possible, trying to become that right-click threat as well, which just gives me another thing to think about as well, because if they're focused on Doctor, then Flux is going to have a sort of free time in the team fight squad. He just does a lot of work. And he's too tanky to burst down as well. Puppet Master might catch Docs here, though. This could be pretty big.
No, this is huge now. He couldn't do the double.
That's the Nullstone effect. You get one gets taken off, and you're quick enough to react to the second one. So, yeah.
That was a kill, too, if he got that off, because
Yep.
the whole team was there to follow him up. So, yeah, unfortunately, just getting to finish talking about how Doctor's pretty much had free reign so far this game. That's really the first time we've seen Mint try anything against him, and unfortunately,
The only
it just
way they
doesn't
can
happen.
do that, I think, is it has to be a Kraken charge. Because even if Lodestone and Puppet even maybe try and do it perfectly in terms of one takes it off and one obviously gets the stun, I just don't think it's possible. Like the timing's just too close, so it has to be a Kraken charge that stuns him.
Baltazar just a little too quick, so knowing that you're going up against that, yeah, they're going to have to deal with that now, and obviously he has the Hellflower finish to him. Going to push out the bottom lane once again, and it is tough for Min, because again, Doctor, this is one of his major strengths. If he'll start pushing out a lane, you'll go to try to gank him, he'll get away, then you go to other lanes to farm, and then he comes right back and just does it again. Because that mobility of him, of course, what makes him one of the more frustrating and definitely dangerous carry kind of heroes to go up against. So, bottom lane is this Flux by himself. Nice deny by Zibby right there. Will it cost him? Doesn't look like it. You see the rocket drill away. Now they're still chasing. Actually, discharge was even used. There's a pull back in, and it will be enough damage. Wow, I mean, they used a lot right there. But it does secure the kill. Middle lane in the meantime, Mass Control not going to be nearly enough damage onto Kraken. That was not Mass Control. I just assume it is always, but that was actually just telekinetic control right there. So, anyways.
Yeah, really slow TP reaction, honestly, from all of Mint. They could have TP'd and tried to deny that tower instead, but unfortunately they don't. They lose loads, so now they're going to lose Congo as well. And Mint, they just... That level 1 Congo, man, really affecting them throughout this whole game, unfortunately.
Token gonna be on, yeah, not surprising there. Dr. Repulsor could be one of the best heroes to have it on, as he picks it up, and another 2,000 gold on top of that. So yeah, it seemed like, I mean, Mint, again, you keep looking back to the beginning of this game, and I guess at this point, you know, almost should forget about it, because, you know, you just have to really have that short-term memory if you're Mint. But it's no doubt that clearly just continues to have that snowball effect throughout this game, and definitely to the credit of Tree for taking advantage of them being down earlier on because of that attempt. But it's they just have not really been able to climb back into it. There's been a couple of moments where it seemed like, okay, maybe something, but Tree does enough to then stop that. So
I have to admit, something that Tree did really, really well actually in the early start of the game is their 2 rotation from Root and Fusum, because obviously the level 1 Congo gave Tree like an advantage in the laning phase. It allowed Box Hills to get a lot of gold, a lot of experience, and then that allowed obviously Magnus and Glacier to set up a lot of kills in the top lane. Oh, Lodestone.
there's the jump right there, and a Lodestone in the background. Kinesis, he's locking on Torch with a big burst to assist for the kill into Lodestone, then they walk away from it. That time it was the Mass Control coming out, and we saw the damage as a result of all that. So, yeah, good catch right there. And again, it's just one of those things, just expected to continue to be the case. You got this Doctor, didn't go the Icon, so it's not like he's adding up charges necessarily, but still, he's got plenty of region, of course, from the Nullstone and the Hellfires we keep going back to. Another 3,000 gold now on top of that, and the Token of Life, so they're going to definitely look for a push here in the near future, I'd assume. Looks like the middle lane now at this point, so good luck defending this.
Yeah, there's not much that Min can do, I don't think, unless they get some. Yeah, I don't know how they're going to kill Doctor twice. Honestly, they're going to have to try and defend base and try and go for a Kraken charge, and then after they kill him, like a Kraken ultimate into him, for example. But even that is it's going to be very hard. Now, Tree with the mid tier 2, they can just take over the jungle, ward up, which Glacius doesn't have any wards, or does he have wards? No, he doesn't. But they can just even going to backdoor the tier 2, and they can just control the jungle right now. And Min, like, they can't fight outside of base. They don't have Shrunkens. Okay, they got one Shrunken on Puppet Master, and maybe this is enough for them to try and make a rotation.
Yeah. You see the Assassin Shroud in, Puppet Master, yeah, with that Shrunken head, so he's definitely got a good core going on here. But they're not going to find that opportunity now. Willowkeeper playing it too safe, and that's obviously good on their part. They know that this could be an opportunity for Mint to kind of help climb back into it, of feeding into their tower and giving them the opportunity to initiate. Instead, they say, you know what, we're not even going to give it to you. We're just going to fall back and continue to farm elsewhere. And then here we go. There's the Shrunken on Dr. Pulsar. Ice Brand now picked up on Flux, of course. You got the Sackstone on Kinesis. Just more and more items coming out here. In fact, now even a Storm Spirit. This one picked up by Magnus here. So even more utility that you're going to have to now deal with if you're Mint in this case. Lodestone, he's got the portal key again. Hey, he has a Mighty Blades he's sitting with here, too. Actually using the Veiled Rot right there. As is everyone. So Mint's trying to be sneaky once again right here. But you look at the Rev now. It doesn't spot the Veiled Rot, of course. However, it will spot Puppet Master as he's walking on by. So, to be fair, though, if you're Tree, you may not think too much of that. Oh, the illusion, though. It spotted Kraken. That illusion Dr. Repulsor. It spotted him. At least Kraken right here. They're still going to try to go for the jump right here, but Lowstone regretted that immediately as the Shuriken pops by Flux. Now he pops the Shadow Storm on top of Glacius. It is going to go off, not the most. In the background, Eruption goes off on top of a Shuriken Puppet Master, though. But all of a sudden, it's just Puppet Master by himself as Torture goes down. And now he has to get the hell on out of there, which he does. But his team falls around him. They only killed Glacius. And, yeah, I mean, they went for the attempt. It was clearly spotted earlier on, but they just kept trying for it. And at that point, True was ready.
No, Mint needed to do something like that, though, because they were not winning the game by just sitting back and farming because they were getting picked off, they were getting out-farmed, and they had to make some kind of play, honestly. I do commend their efforts, but this game, unfortunately, was just lost practically from the laning phase. And obviously, Tree, they did very well to really capitalise on the advantage they did have, but I mean, I'm surprised because Tree were looking very, very solid, actually. I mean, I guess that's what happens when you have like, the advantage, but they did not make any throws. Everything they did, their item choices were very, very good and made use of it. So.
You know, that's very true. Not only coming off the series, the game that we were casting in a loser's bracket, but Tree as a team, they are, if any, one of these top-tier teams that is known to go a little over the top sometimes. And in fact, hold that thought, though, because, once again, Mint is just trying to go all in right here. They're locking out Flux. They look at the kill. You do see Tree thinking about going in, but they decide not to. The Rocket Drill Stone on a Kinesis. Dr. Poacher says, I got to get out of here. He goes for the TP. He will be successful, but Kinesis also falls. So, well, maybe a little bit of something there. I mean, that was just more so a good chase from Mint.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't actually call that further because they lost a Flux and a Kinesis for a melee range, melee Rex.
Yeah.
So I think that's more almost kind of the trade you made because they committed so much for it. But I wouldn't call that like a throw. But yeah, I mean they look solid, very, very well. Like from the whole itemization to the team decisions to the laning phase as well. Like rarely do you see like the supports rotate top level 4 or level 5, but it was just so effective because they were winning mid, they were winning bot. Mint, the only lane that was going well for them is the top lane, and Tree went over there to try and disrupt the whole thing. Ophelia couldn't really rotate over because he's using the jungle in the meantime, and it was just a really nice little play from the supports from Tree, and had a big difference, honestly, in the whole game. Probus was sitting at like 315 GPM the whole first 20 minutes because of it, so...
You see Probus, he was farming up the middle lane a little bit right there. I thought Doctor was thinking about jumping in, but decided it's best to not and getting a little bit of support nearby, so... Maybe that was a better choice. Seeing more items coming out, though. Not a full Frost of Skull yet. Okay, not as much as I thought. They were just clicking towards getting it eventually, but Glowstone just picked up by Flux, and a Shrunken Egg going to be in the works now for Root of Z here on Magnus. As he gets the Mighty Blade initially, of course. But yeah, again, Wellkeeper known as a team that perhaps goes a little over the top sometimes. Again, this game really just has been a very safe and secure game. And
yeah, it really has.
It is showing here. Against Mint, and again with what is on the line, you win this, you are advancing on to the Final Four in that number 1 seed, going to face the number 2 seed against Group B a couple of weeks from here. So, and here we go with Willowkeeper, though. They're going to try to take care of business and finish the job at this point as they go in with the Veiled Rot. Going to be exposed, but pretty good timing. Doctor jumps way in the background, goes right for Puppet Master. That pull, though, kind of screwed him up initially, but Magnus assists, and down goes... No! Puppet Master survives with that Ophelia's touch. There's several fights going on right now. Puppet Master just trying to get any kind of damage out. He's chasing this Dr. Repulsor. He wants to open with the Whiplash, the lockdown. There we go, the Voodoo Puppet. Will it be a kill? It won't even be a kill. The quad kill from Kraken. Will it be an annihilation as Lowe's taking the lockdown? It will be an annihilation. Kraken gets the hell on out of there as he buys back, trying to get there in time. Wasn't able to, though. And now Lowstone kind of body blocking him. They want more. Will they get a double annihilation here for Flux? That would be fun. As they're just going to chase him down. Flux is running in. The Storm Spirit goes up. He charges away. I think he will be safe in the end, but this is why he goes this build, man. He can right-click like a boss, and he showed that fight right there.
Yeah, definitely. And look at him. Like he had like 200 HP in the end of it. And like I said, if he doesn't build that tanky, like he's just going to drop in the team fights. But really nice just play from Cracky and the whole sort of tree. But yeah, I mean, I think the game was over before that fight, but obviously that just put the nail in the coffin, honestly.
Yeah. Mint doing their best to persevere, though. Not going to be too phased by it. It's hard to, unfortunately, not to have a level 1 Conqueror attempt to work out for you, and now even getting annihilated by the other team and still stick in a game, to be honest. So, you know, good job in that sense of having the strength of mind to stay in this game, I guess. But there is also that part of that classic conversation that we go back to from time to time of, you know, is it almost hurting you to a point to stick in a game like this where, you know, so many things have just gone wrong for you. The other team's just playing so well. Why not just move on to the next game? But for the time being, at least, they're still going to give it a shot here. And maybe one more all in, but we'll see.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I mean, I guess it comes back to Tree though as well. Like, we talk about how Tree, depending on, it's like what kind of Tree is going to show up. Is it going to be the Tree where they dominate like this, they're playing very, very solid, or is it the Tree where they're looking a little bit disjointed, maybe communications off, for example, and just everything just doesn't seem right. Obviously, in this case, it's not, but I think with Tree, although they have been around for the scene for quite a while, they aren't the most experienced players. You know, they haven't won like any big tournaments kind of thing, and that could definitely play into the facts because of their inexperience. So, game 2, I think, will definitely be different because Mint won't go for the level 1 Congo, for example. But they're smoking up here, going to try and make some kind of desperation move, and I don't see why not. Yeah,
it goes back to what do they have to lose really at this point? You got Torturer, Puppet Master, Ophelia coming in. The rest going to be joining. She knows, though. I mean, you look at this. They're literally walking into a trap right here. How goes the word of sight? And we'll give them a little more information, but they're going to walk right into this trap. Puppet Master thinks he's being sneaky. Not so sneaky, though. In come all the Shrunken Heads. Puppet Master is able to get some auto attacks off at least and hold his ground somewhat with the Shrunken Heads up, but he's going to end up dropping the most likely. Here comes the eruption from Magnus, and as expected, the trap was a success. And Willow Keeper officially is going to take game number 1 right there. So, yeah, Mint at that point again. They just had to try something. They went for it. Clearly did not work. Let's move on in game number 2, they say, and for good reasons. You know, again, it's one of those cases. If you join it later, maybe even if you were watching from the beginning, you're like, oh, man, they just got outplayed. And no doubt, I mean, the early game had the biggest effect. That was just a matter of Tree capitalizing. And you're all right. Tree just played very well, too.
Tree were really on point with that. I mean, it all goes back to the level 1 Congo, but I mean, I still stick to my viewpoint that I think Mint should have tried it, and I'm glad they kind of did, because I think that could have worked. Like, first of all, it doesn't seem like a lineup that would go level 1 Congo. It's a draft that could really benefit from the level 1 Congo. Obviously, any lineup can work against level 1 Congo, but this lineup in particular had to take an early advantage, had to take those team fights, had to take those towers, and that level 1 Congo would just benefit them even more. And thirdly, I mean, it's a playoff match. You know, anything can happen. These cheese sort of strats is when you bring these strats out, because you know there's so much on the line and there's nothing else that you can really lose, for example. So I'm glad they did. Obviously it backfired, but you have to judge the action before the result at the end of the day. And,
of course.
Yeah, I think, you know...
if it worked out, if they won the game, we'd all be sitting here saying, oh my god, that was genius. They were so good to make that move. So it's definitely
exactly.
That case.
No, I think it was a good call to make. It's just like I say, risk and reward factor right there. And this one, it just didn't work out. I mean, I think that's like, you know, if you play that game, you know, 10 times, 7 of those times it will probably work. 3 of the times it didn't. This was one of the 3.
Well,
so...
You know, it's also interesting, too, when you think about it, how that level 1 Conqueror was spotted by a Magnus, where the rest of his team was actually at the top lane counter-warding and whatnot. You know, why would they send Magnus to the Conqueror pit of all the heroes? It was kind of intriguing to me. You figure he might have wanted to have him up there just in case they did encounter anyone.
I think it's the escape mechanism, honestly, though. Like, if Glacier goes in there, he's going to die, Dox is going to die, Flux will die, Kinesis will die. Like, Magnus,
that's true.
They couldn't catch him because he had the stun, which is probably the only reasoning right there. And also, like, I think Magnus was thinking about going, sort of pulling the lane, for example, what he normally does, pull the lane from level 1.
Yeah.
But yeah, nonetheless... Game 2 as well. I think it's going to be different. I mean, I said going into this match, I think it's going to be 2-1 Mint. So Mint got to take 2 games now.
There you go. Gonna have to play from behind again. Clearly, they are capable of doing so. But hey, they took a risk, didn't work out. Tree also is clearly playing very, very well. So it's definitely, you know, you knew it going into that's going to be a task to do so. But we'll see how it starts here in game number 2. Ladies and gentlemen, game number 2 coming at you, the winner bracket finals here from Group A. Which team advances on to the Final Four, and which team will be bumped down to the losers bracket here in Group A? Fresh Willowkeeper game 2 coming up next.